Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Men of Zen, an animation research podcast. My name is Brent.
And I'm fucking tired, Brent.
Yeah.
But you can call me Phil.
You had a long-ass weekend. I relaxed this weekend.
Son of a bitch.
I was going to work today, and then I said, I forgot I have to record podcast. So that is not happening
Priorities today.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, you guys... You're the lucky ones. I could have been making money, but instead, I chose the power of friendship. So, here we are.
Oh, man. But you can call me Phil, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want, you can call him whatever you want. That's fine.
I'm the funny one.
Yeah,
he is. Hey, for $20 an hour, you can call me whatever you want.
He'll get on that pole, too. You know
God.
he will.
Oh, no, my girlfriend might be a little upset if I do that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe she'll be there.
She probably would be. She'll be like throwing money at me and be like, this is coming right back to me.
Yeah,
anyway.
be like, this is coming. You're taking me out to eat later. So
might as well throw you the money now.
Yep, there you go. That's fine. Oh, shit. Well, I am ready to hop into my fucking cockpit because we are going to suit up in our tightest, stretchiest clothes here in just a second as we suit up for Mobile Fighter G
Gundam, baby.
Burning Finger!
Gundam fight ready? Set, go!
That shit, dude, that announcer guy's fucking funny. Dude, if you haven't seen this show, this is the Gundam series that you can turn your brain completely off and just let it drip out the side of your head and just watch big mech shit fight other big mech shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's big mechs, cool combat, really flashy animation, some amazing fucking character models, and just a dash of racism.
just a small, little bit of oh my god, what do they call it? Some
racism?
No, not racism.
I mean, that's totally
there
there
are some stereotypes. 100% of there's so much cultural stereotypes.
Yeah, same thing.
Let's see. I think it was. Oh my god, was it Sweden? Sweden's Gundam is Neo Holland.
Yeah,
windmill Gundam.
Oh my fucking god! I love fucking what the American one, not Maximus. Maxter, Gundam Maxter
is
he's a boxer.
He's a boxer that wears a football helmet and has a surfboard,
and he has pistols on his hip for some reason.
Neo Germany's Gundam features Nazi regalia, and Neo Spain's it looks like a matador.
Yeah,
like
dude, okay, so I fucking love the whole concept behind this. It's amazing. So like this takes place in its own era, like it's outside of any other Gundam shit, just called Future Era.
Yep, this was the first time the series ever took place out of what's called the the continuity, the New Century continuity.
Yep.
So it was a completely separate side story, and they've never done this before prior to this, which I think is super cool.
It is, and like it's a neat show. It's like I said, it's got some great characters. Some of the best shit that I love about it is that it's set in this era where space is completely like colonized, and the political power of all of these different nations is reliant on basically a Gundam Olympics down on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by down on Earth is all of the nations are now floating nations of land masses out in space.
Yep.
Like Neo Japan still kind of looks like Japan, just floating in space.
Yep.
For some reason, Neo America is a star floating in space because why not? It's America. Yep. It's a star. Do you know what Mexico is? Is it Neo Mexico? Neo Spain?
Yeah, Neo Mexico, Neo Spain.
It's a fucking sombrero.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I don't remember seeing that.
It's a sombrero.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I said, there's just that dash of racism.
Did you know in Japan, Neo Mexico's Gundam was called Tequila Gundam?
Was it really?
Yep.
Oh my god. You're not drunk. I'm the drunk one. Oh my fucking god.
This show is. See, the thing is, like Brent said, you have to turn your brain off because there are things that just don't make sense, but you just kind of gotta run with it. Because if you think too hard about it, you're gonna not enjoy the show.
And that's one of the reasons why I decided that, like, I don't know if I like it as much as I did when I was younger. Like, it appealed to me that it was just cool fights and flashy combat, but really looking at it now and trying to analyze it from a standpoint of, okay, we're gonna, like, watch this show and research it. I was like, God, it's written kind of bad.
Oh no, you're right. The characters are kind of written all over the place. The plot is kind of very much feels forced.
Yes,
a lot of events feel forced just to continue the narrative. But hey, you know what? I actually found this out. A big inspiration about of the show was other types of tournament fighter shonen anime.
Yeah,
primarily from what I was able to look up, the creators of this really just loved the Cell saga. The Cell game saga for Dragon Ball.
I could totally see that.
They just got done watching it and they were like, okay, let's make a Gundam show, but incorporate some fucking crazy cool fighting and attacks and something you don't normally see in Gundams, in Gundam anime. Every Gundam's got their own finishing move.
What? You may have those silver feet, but I've got these gold fingers! Here I go! Shining
And we'll sprinkle in a little Sailor Moon in there because
every
time they suit up, they have to have this cool transformation sequence essentially where they're powering up, putting on their super tight spandex suits that allow them to control their Gundam's movements based off the pilot's movements. So you're not sitting in a normal cockpit; you're standing in this open area. And you're able to look completely 360 degrees around you.
Yeah, it's like a VR room.
Yeah.
And they're just in there throwing punches like Power Rangers and shit.
I love the fact that during the transformation, quote unquote transformation sequence, it just emphasizes Domon, the main character's butt at one shot.
For some reason, it looks like it's painful for him, though. Everybody else is like, okay, my suit's on, and Domon's still over there going,
he might have his suit on a hard difficulty.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with that guy. Domon Kasshu is an interesting character, and we'll get a little bit into these characters here. But first, let's talk a little bit about what is Mobile Fighter G Gundam, or in this instance, also known as Mobile Fighting Legend G Gundam.
A trip.
But also just G Gundam. And another really little fun fact is that the G for G Gundam stands for God Gundam.
Yup, I love the fact that the names in Japan for the two main Gundams in this show, Devil Gundam, God Gundam.
Yep.
So obviously,
we have Shining and Dark.
Yep. Well, Shining Gundam I think was called the Rising Gundam at one point because I think Burning Gundam's God Gundam.
Yeah. Burning Gundam is God Gundam.
And then Devil Gundam was renamed Dark Gundam because obviously we can't have anything scary for the kids.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's just crazy. I love the undertones and just the names in this are fucking rad. I love the models and the designs of some of these guys. They're fucking cool. It's a Japanese animated television series produced by Sunrise, and this is the 5th installment in the long-running Gundam franchise that started back in 1994. Created by the pseudonym group Hajime Yatate. The series is set in the future century where space colonies representing countries have agreed to hold an organized fighting tournament known as the Gundam Fight. Great name. Every 4 years.
Right
wow.
on the nose.
Just like America's presidential shit.
Man, we need to have something
like this. Could you imagine
the presidential fight?
Every 4 years, you're like, oh, fuck, here they come again. And it's just big ass fucking 20-meter tall things that are like, yep, we're here to fuck up your cities as we have a tournament for who gets to control space.
To be fair, I kind of already do have that, oh god, here they come mentality every 4 years anyway, after all the political ads and all that bullshit.
That's true. So these fights, ultimately, they settle all of their political differences in place of war. So they've all agreed to just be like, okay, you won, so you're right, I guess. You did it. Each colony sends a representative fighter pilot in a giant humanoid mech called a Gundam to battle on Earth until only one is left, and the winning nation earns the right to govern over all of the colonies until the next tournament. The events of G Gundam follow Domon Kasshu, the pilot of Neo Japan's Shining Gundam, during the 13th Gundam fight. Domon's mission is both to win the tournament and track down his older brother, who is believed to have stolen a mysterious Dark Gundam from the Neo Japan government.
Yep. Do you know, I just realized something. Just listening to you describe
Have
the
you
Gundam
seen
fight.
this, man?
Oh, no, not that. I was going to say G Gundam did battle royales first.
Yeah, they did.
You drop down into the arena and you fight till only one person's left.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
G Gundam did it first.
yeah, they
Take
did.
that, Fortnite.
I mentioned earlier, so there's this pseudonym group, and I'm pretty sure we actually brought this up maybe in an early episode, or maybe it's a second one, I don't remember. Hajime Yatate, which is considered to be named after a quote of Matsuo Bashio's Oko no Hosomichi. The quote, Koreo Yatate no Hajime Toshite, Ikumichi naho Susumazu, roughly translates to, this was the first time I used my travel writing implements, and I was still reluctant to venture further. Yatate in this instance it's a small personal, it kind of looks like a smoking pipe, but instead of smoking out of it, it's actually a writing set from medieval Japan, which has ink cotton, a shaft for a brush, and then possibly a letter opener. And Oko no Hosomichi translates as the narrow road to the deep north and the narrow road to the interior. It's a major work of haibun by the Japanese poet Matsuo Bashio, which is considered one of the major texts of Japanese literature of the Edo period. The first edition was published posthumously in 1702. So, Bashio by Hokusai, the text is written in the form of a prose, which like a prose is like, if you didn't know, prose is like you write just how you talk. Right. So he didn't put any like fancy work into it. So he just writes down the shit he sees as he would speak it normally. And it was like this verse travel diary that was penned by Matsuo Bashio that made this epic and dangerous journey through the Edo period of Japan in the late 17th century. The poet's travels and the text have since inspired many people to follow in his footsteps and trace his journey for themselves. In one of its most memorable passages, Bashio suggests that every day is a journey, and the journey itself is home. The text is also influenced by the works of Du Fu, who was highly revered by Bashio. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Man, that's I love when like you look at an anime like this, and it's just like a bunch of mechs fighting each other in like overly aggressive yelling attack type anime, and then you'd have all this like, you know, more personal, like down to earth, like almost like spiritual stuff is like an inspiration, or you know, the thought process behind the creator. Like that's cool.
It's very like philosophical,
right?
Oh, you can open up your next episode with that and be like, and I am philosophical.
Damn. I love how you just drop it.
Yep.
Those are our friends, Brent.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, you know what? Mobile Fighter G Gundam was produced by Sunrise in association with advertising agencies Sotsu and Dentsu and toy company Bandai. We definitely know them. The series was created to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the Gundam franchise, created by Yoshiyuki Tomino in 1979. Holy crap, Gundam's old.
Yep.
G Gundam was directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa, known for his work on the Giant Robo and Getter Robo Armageddon original video animations, or OVAs. G Gundam was chiefly written and supervised by Fuyunori Gobu, a veteran screenwriter for various Sunrise properties, such as the Shippu, Iron Leaguer, and King of Braves, Gaio Gaigar. Gaio Gaigar?
Yeah.
Gaio Gaigar. Bo. Different thing. Many of the principal production crew members for G Gundam were carried over for the previous season's Mobile Suit Victory Gundam, including character designer Hiroshi Osaka and mechanical designers Kunio Okawara and Hajime Katoki. Oh man. Manga artist Kazuhiko Shimamoto collaborated on the show's character designs. I really like the designs of the characters too. They're very, very different in comparison to a lot of other like Gundam shows.
Yeah,
they're more exaggerated,
more stylish. Yeah, yep.
Have you seen George's hair? Hair,
Yes,
man.
I have.
There's not enough gel in the world to keep it like that.
Is that how they really wear it in France?
I really don't know, man. Kimitoshi Yamane acted as backup mechanical designer and has since worked on Sunrise's acclaimed series Cowboy Bebop and the vision of Escaflowne.
Oh, Escaflowne.
Escaflowne.
Yes.
My apologies.
That's another one that, like, we need to cover Escaflowne sometime.
I've never heard of the vision of Escaflowne.
Escaflowne. Dude, it was like on Fox, I'm pretty sure. It was one of those, it was an older one that I remember it kind of around the time as the Big O.
Okay, you have to show me that.
It's very reminiscent of, more so of Gundam than Big O.
Oh, I getcha. Hirotoshi Sano, previously credited for Tekka Man Blade, was responsible for directing the mechanical animation in G Gundam, but also produced much of the show's promotional artwork seen on home media covers. The musical score for G Gundam was compromised by Kohei Tanaka. The opening theme song Flying in the Sky, performed by Yoshifumi Ushima, and the closing theme Umiyori mo Fukaku and Deeper Than the Ocean by Etsuku Sai, are played for the first 25 episodes of the series. The opening theme, Trust You Forever, by Ushima, and the closing theme, Kimi no Naka no Ain, The Eternity in You, by Takahide Inoue, are played for the remaining episodes. I love the soundtrack in this. It's not like anything groundbreaking, but I feel like it succeeds in its goal, which is to hype you up.
Yeah.
Like the song that starts playing when Domon uses the burning finger or shining finger, it hypes up. You hear that, you're like, yeah, fucking do it. Grab his head. Crush it.
Twist his dick.
Oh my god. No, like it's awesome. And like the show kind of follows a very formulaic type of storytelling for the first couple episodes. And it's only until they get to, I want to say, the section where Domon teams up with another one of his former master to defend a city is when it really kind of like sheds that previous formula and kind of goes with a newer style that like really helped amp it up.
Yeah.
But like every episode, like the first couple episodes, Domon goes to a country, gets into some trouble. Finds the pilot of the enemy nation Gundam.
I'm here to fight you.
Yep, fights them, and then it's like, oh no, I'm being overpowered. But wait, music starts playing. It's like, my hand is burning red. And then it just goes into one-shot KO.
Yep.
That's like literally it for the first couple episodes, and it's really funny.
At least, and like a lot of them at first at least end up in a very convenient draw where the people that he has these draws with in combat, they become kind of allies, which help him out later, which is really cool. The one that I feel like is the most fucking annoying, fucking Saisaichi.
Oh, you ain't talking about Dragon Gundam's
Dragon
pilot.
Gundam? Yeah. Dude, that kid's a little shit.
Yeah, but his Gundam's super cool.
It is. His Gundam is super cool, but that kid's a little prick. Fuck that kid. Like other early mecha anime, the Mobile Suit Gundam franchise was backed by sponsors whose main interest was having television programs advertise plastic models and toys.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you haven't seen Gundam, chances are you've seen Gundam models and kits you can put together, Gundam toys. Like,
I got so many. I had so many of those toys growing up, too.
It's still huge. Yes. We have a buddy of ours that we used to play some Destiny with back in the day. His entire apartment, like, you can't walk through it without knocking over a 15, 20 fucking stack tall of Gundam model boxes.
Jesus.
It's like you with Dr. Pepper cans when you would store them in your room.
I've cut that addiction, sir.
You have the Great Wall of Dr. Pepper. His is just Gundam models and kits. I'd be like, oh shit, didn't mean to knock that over. He's like, it's okay. And he's like, check out this one. And he just has them all built and shit. Like, it looks cool, but that has taken over. It has consumed him. It is a dangerous hobby.
Jesus Christ.
This is also the first Gundam series that has a self-contained plot set in an alternate calendar era from the original Universal Century timeline. Additionally, the show casts aside many of the conventions set by its predecessors and takes many new steps for its franchise, such as a focus on martial arts and decisive personal duels as opposed to large-scale military conflicts.
Yep.
And I loved that.
Yeah, this is not a drama. This is a martial arts fight, 1v1 fighting like competition. It's every anime needs to have a tournament arc, or a lot of shonen animes have a lot of tournament arcs And this anime is just one big tournament arc.
G Gundam was directed by Yasuhiro Imagawa, with its settings and characters significantly influenced by the director's interest in world cinema. The anime's real-world locales were drawn from numerous foreign films and were planned using location scouting. G Gundam ran for 49 episodes on Japan's TV Asahi from April 22nd, 1994 to March 31st in 1995. An English-language version produced by Bandai Entertainment aired in the United States on Cartoon Network's Toonami block beginning August 5th of 2002. Since its original broadcast, G Gundam has spawned manga, audio albums, video games, guidebooks, and several lines of scale models.
During its conception, the Japanese television debut of G Gundam, it was met with controversy among its production staff, sponsors, and fans because the show takes a wildly different turn from all the previous entries in the Gundam universe. The series is cited as a milestone in its long-running franchise and ultimately proved very popular in the region. Reception for G Gundam has been genuinely positive in the North America region, reviewers praising the primary characters and mecha as unique and stylized, but strongly disagreed on the plot. While some critics enjoyed the bold and campy diversions from the more dramatic and social, political undertones that are traditionally in the Gundam series, others found G Gundam's story shallow, repetitive, and not up to the standards set by its anime predecessors. So G Gundam G Gundam was my second Gundam series I've ever watched.
Yeah.
The first one was Gundam Wing, which is I have very fond memories of as a kid. But seeing that and then watching G Gundam, which found out actually G Gundam actually came out before Gundam Wing. So I don't understand why it feels like, at least I remember, that Gundam Wing came to America first, and then G Gundam, but in Japan, it was G Gundam, then Gundam Wing.
Yeah, I think, I don't know why that was, to be honest. I didn't find a specific reason as to why there was such a delay. I think it was the fact that it's a divisive anime for Gundam fans because of the fact that, like, again, we're missing all those political shit. So I would say with, like, how politics has been in the last, like, 7-8 years in the United States, it's really great to revisit this, to take a break from all that bullshit.
Right.
But at the same time, I do miss a lot of the drama and more, I would say, exceptional storytelling from like the earlier Gundam franchises, where it was more about a bigger problem with more large-scale wars. You had tons more Gundam models and shit to look at.
Right.
Like, I'm missing out on shit like Death Scythe Hell Custom,
Ooh.
Heavy Arms or Heavy Arms Custom. Was it Epion?
Gundam Epion, Tall Geese, like a lot of the Gundams from Gundam Wing.
Yep.
But like, I really did enjoy the wild difference between the two series. Well, Gundam Wing is, like you said, way more political and like, and like at least politics and more of a military stylized show.
Yeah.
G Gundam is just more action packed, in my opinion. It's more animated. Like there's more going on in the show for the most part. I feel like Gundam Wing was a lot of talking,
There was
a lot more talking than there were actual like fights.
like if Gundam was Game of Thrones,
Right, exactly.
or if Game of Thrones had Gundams.
Right, that's
You
actually
know
a great
nothing, Jon Snow, and then suit up, and they fucking get into giant robots and.
I'd watch that. But like I get it why it was more, if it was more popular in North America, because we were just like, yeah, fights, robots punching other robots.
Hell yeah, bro, America! That robot's got guns! I don't know, yeah, fucking, that Gundam Maxter, just for some reason, was American as fuck. He used it was his shoulder pads. He would take his shoulder pads, and they would become his boxing gloves. He had like a Gundam brass knuckles, basically.
Yeah.
But then also he had holsters on his hips for guns.
Yep.
How fucking American is that
America.
shit?
And a surfboard.
Yeah.
He was on a surfboard too. Like, bro did like everything. It's hilarious.
That's the weird shit.
Oh man, Gundam, Shadow Gundam was Germany's Gundam.
Yeah.
Neo, Germany's Gundam, and that was a ninja. Like it was for
Yeah.
some reason it was a German soldier ninja.
Yes.
It was
Yeah. He was like a yes.
Yeah, his pilot was legitimately a ninja.
Oh yeah, I'm a ninja. Yeah.
Oh, he definitely did not have that accent,
Yeah.
but it'd be funny
No,
if he did.
didn't. Russia's Gundam fucking
Bolt Gundam.
Yeah, dude, he's just this fucking stout, like tanky ass motherfucker that had this like
ball and chain
weapon.
And he's fun. It's funny because he's a prisoner.
Yeah,
he's literally a prisoner by the Russian government, and they're just like, "Hey, pilot this, and we'll set you and your friends free."
He's like, "Fuck yeah, I will."
Argo Golsky was his name. He was actually a really cool character.
Yeah, no, he really is.
And then you have like George, who is just like the epitome of French, and his Gundam Rose. And that, like I said, that hair is it's impossible. You can't have hair like that just stands up like that.
He uses a lot of hairspray,
right? But I love. There's still. I think I told you this earlier, but there's a line in the show that just makes me laugh every time I hear it. It's where George and Domon are like charging each other, and of course George is like Domon, and they had to match it up for Domon, like with the lip syncing, so he's like, George. It's not like George. It's like, George. They're charging him.
I still think like some of the best and worst writing in this ever is like even it's very noticeable from even episode 1, where Domon like is this mysterious wandering like stranger who's new into town, and he stops in at a bar and like he beats up some ruffians or like in there to cause trouble and shit, and like as soon as he's done beating him up, he just holds up a picture. He's like, "Have you seen this guy?"
Oh yeah, he'll just like, I don't know how he does it, because he'll like push that image into the enemy pilot's like cockpit screen.
Yep.
Like, how did he do that?
I don't know. Have you ever seen Terminator 2? It's like that. Have you seen this boy?
Or there was also times where like people on the ground would be talking, and the Gundam pilots, who are literal like a mile away in their Gundams, would hear it.
Bluetooth.
Well, no, they didn't have any headset in it. It'd be like
speakers.
Like there was for example, there's a scene where George and Domon are fighting, like when they first meet, and he's pretending to kidnap the princess of Neo France to make George fight him, and she's talking with Rain, Domon's like partner.
Yeah.
And they're just talking about like, oh no, George really came for me. He's here to fight for me. And then George is like, nope, that's not right. And it's like, wait, what? How can he hear her? Because she was kidnapped by Domon, so she has no Bluetooth or no like microphone to talk to him. He can just hear that shit.
Oh yeah, it's okay. I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Like it's forced situations that are literally just like, you can't think too hard about it, because then it would not make sense and it would just hurt. Yep. You just think like, oh no, he heard that. Yeah, he absolutely just heard that shit.
That's fine. Using her indoor voice and all.
Yeah, it's dumb as all hell, and I love it. Unlike the previous series in the Gundam franchise, which are set in the Universal Century timeline, Mobile Fire G Gundam takes place in the alternate future century. We talked about earlier. It's the first like spin-off of Gundam. We also talked about how it's basically just every 4 years, new presidential debate for the, ruler of the universe. Yep. It's all down. It comes down to fighting who can punch harder, who's more of a badass. Each Gundam is controlled directly, though, by the user within the cockpit using the Mobile Trace System, a gesture recognition and feedback mechanism where the Gundam mimics the pilot's own body motion, which is vastly different than almost any other Gundam cockpit that we've seen in the series.
Modern day VR, but back in the mid-90s.
True, and the Gundam pilot seems to actually feel the pain that their Gundam feels. Like if they blow up their arm or like damage their arm, you see the arm of the pilot like start glowing.
Like circuits and shit.
Yeah, so like they can feel the pain, so it's much more of a intimate system because of that. G Gundam opens at the start of the 13th Gundam fight in the future century, year 60, following Neo Japan's Domon Kasshu, fighter for his nation's Shining Gundam and bearer of the coveted King of Hearts martial arts crest. Essentially, there's 5 crests that are given. The King of Hearts is essentially the leader of what's called the Shuffle Alliance.
The Shuffle Alliance.
I really like that. It's cheesy as all hell, but it's a really neat idea for a team. Each one is like based off of one of the cards in a deck of cards. I don't remember what they are right off the top of my head, but they are just all like, they're considered the 5 greatest masters of martial arts and different martial arts styles.
Now, his was passed down from Master Asia.
Yes, the representative Neo Hong Kong.
Yep.
Who I guess trained him to be the next King of Hearts.
Yes.
Though the other Shuffle Alliance members, when he meets them, They act like they never met before. So it's not even something that the Shuffle Alliance comes together very often, or there's not like a big ceremony when the title is passed on.
Mhm.
It's literally a shining crest that he can, bring forth from his hand at any point in time. They don't explain if it's like nanites or something in his hand that like light up or something.
It's like a tattoo that fades in and out of existence.
He can just summon this glowing tattoo on his hand that shows he's the King of Hearts, and people know that. Because they're like, oh, when people see that, symbol on his hand, they're like, oh shit, it's the King of Hearts. We're dead. There's no way we can beat this guy.
It's rad.
Domon literally is like, right off the bat in episode 1, he is shown to be someone who can catch bullets. He had a whole firing squad shooting at him. And he just reveals himself from the dust cloud, and he's just caught all those bullets between his fingers, which is insane. They're like, okay, this guy's a badass. But then later on in the show, he gets knocked out by people like sneaking up on him from behind.
Yep.
His power and his martial arts prowess is very hit and miss through this show. It's essentially he's a badass when he needs to be, and he's kind of a bumbling idiot when he needs to be. So that's like what we talked about earlier with the writing inconsistency.
Yeah, that is. I kind of forgot about that, to be honest.
Right. Aside from winning the tournament, Domon's mission is to track down his fugitive older brother, Kyoji, who allegedly stole the experimental Devil Gundam, or Dark Gundam in the American dub, from Neo Japan's government, leaving their mother dead and their father, Dr. Raizo Kasshu, to be arrested and placed in cryogenic state until the true culprit is brought to justice.
Yep.
Which I think is a really neat backstory for this.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, I wish it was like more upfront about it, like, and brought that more to the main stage than just, you're a Gundam pilot, I want to fight you so much. Like, I wish that they focused on this a bit more. Like, they bring it up, but it's almost like in passing.
They don't talk about this for a lot of episodes until they get to a point where they force Domon to relive the day that kind of started all of this.
Yeah, right. And they're like, oh, by the way, in case we didn't know, this is why you're watching this. And
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh,
and
okay.
then they at the end of it, they're like, hey, by the way, you weren't there during all this. This is just a computer simulation to show exactly like what we think happened.
Yep.
I'm like, what? Like, what? This is like I said, don't think about what's happening or else it won't make sense and you'll just get angry.
Don't get angry at us, as we're actually going to take a really quick break here, listen to a couple of ads, and we will be right back.
What's up, gamers? Birds and Swords here. I'm Micah.
And I'm Alyssa. As part of the Barn Media Group, we bring you anything and everything from the world of video games.
Are we experts?
No.
But do we play a lot of video games?
Hell yeah, we do.
So come check out our gaming podcast, Birds and Swords, for insight, opinions, top lists, and all the fun that comes with talking about games.
Come laugh with us. Or at us.
So bring your bird and your sword.
Because it's Birds and Swords.
Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this episode. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you could talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/thebarn. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/thebarn.
All right, welcome back, guys. We're going to talk about Yoshiyuki Tomino. Yoshiyuki Tomino, born November 5th, 1941, is a Japanese mecha anime creator, animator, director, screenwriter, songwriter, and novelist, best known for creating the Gundam anime franchise. He was born in Odawara, Kanagawa Prefecture, and studied at the Nihon University's College of Art. Tomino began his career in 1963 with Osamu Tezuka's company, Mushi Productions, scripting the storyboards and screenplay of one of the first Japanese anime television series, Astro Boy. According to anime producer Seiji Suzuki, while at the company, he was under the mentorship of Hiroshi Wakao, the later founder and first president of production studio Shaft.
Shaft.
Yeah, he got shafted.
Shaft, baby.
He later became one of the most important members of the anime studio Sunrise, going on to direct the numerous anime throughout the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s. Tomino is perhaps best known for his transformation of the super robot mecha anime genre into the real robot genre with the 1979's Mobile Suit Gundam, the first in the Gundam franchise.
What a banger that shit is. Like, I love most of the early Gundam shit. It's fucking awesome. Tomino is known for using numerous pseudonyms for miscellaneous staffing roles that he performs in his works, including Minami Asa and Minoru Yokitani, which are used to credit himself for screenplays and storyboards he creates. Ren Logi, which he uses to credit himself for theme song lyrics he writes. In 1975, Tomino worked on Brave Raiden in his first mecha work, in which he directed the first 26 episodes. Raiden was renowned and influential in its innovative portrayal of a giant machine of mysterious and mystical origins, and has gone on to inspire numerous other directors and series. In 1979, Tomino directed and wrote Mobile Suit Gundam, which was highly influential in transforming the super robot mecha genre into the real robot genre. Mark Simmons discusses the impact of Gundam in his book, Gundam Official Guide. And in this, he quotes, "With its new realistic approach to giant robots, Gundam changed the face of mecha anime and split the genre in two, single-handedly inventing the real robot subgenre. Gundam forced all of its predecessors to be redefined as part of the super robot subgenre. Not surprisingly, real robots became all of the rage after Gundam."
Man, can you imagine be like, man, I don't like this unrealistic version of a robot. I like this more realistic version of a robot.
Right. Well, it's like anime now, where like something catches fire and everyone's like fucking all over it.
Yep.
Like any of the school, academy based anime, fucking My Hero Academia, any of the fucking what is that shit called? Why can't I think of what it is? Fucking Sword
Slice
Art
of Life.
Online.
The like isekai.
Isekai, there we go. I
Isekai.
couldn't think of that fucking word. Any of that shit, that's huge, and people are still trying to pump those out, and I'm like, please, it's dead. No
Please
more.
stop.
Please stop. In an interview published in An America magazine, An America magazine, Tomino discusses what he was trying to accomplish with Mobile Suit Gundam. "The bottom line is, I wanted to have a more realistic robot series, unlike a super robot, where everything is more reality-based, based on a humanoid robot. Right from the beginning, the roots of Mobile Suit came from the worker robots that were building the space colonies back then, and they would become more technologically advanced, to the point of becoming a weapon. And that was the whole lineage of the robots I had in mind since the beginning. So the whole idea, my idea of trying to have a robot series in space without it becoming a stupid story, was based on wanting to make a story and surrounding it with reality. More realistic possibilities was the underlying concept."
In 1985, Tomino directed the first sequel to Mobile Suit Gundam, Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. The following year, Tomino wrote and directed Mobile Suit Gundam ZZ, or Mobile Suit Gundam Double Z, which had a more upbeat, comedic theme. In 1988, Tomino concluded the saga begun in the Mobile Suit Gundam with the Gundam motion picture Char's Counterattack. Tomino directed an additional Gundam motion picture, Mobile Suit Gundam F91, in 1991. This movie, which took place 30 years after Char's Counterattack, relaunched the Gundam saga in a new direction by featuring a completely new cast. In 1993, Tomino directed his next Gundam series, Victory Gundam, which, like F91 before, attempted to relaunch the Gundam saga with a completely new cast. In 1999, he returned to Gundam with Turn a Gundam, and in 2002, directed two compilation movies for it entitled Turn a Gundam 1, Earthlight, and Turn a Gundam 2, Moonlight Butterfly. I don't like that name. Turn a Gundam.
Yeah, turn A Gundam.
Turn a Gundam into what?
Yeah, I think it's turn A. I don't know if it's like the letter A.
Right, yeah, turn A. But like it's still just turn A Gundam. Like who comes up with that name? Like it just
Well, I mean, all of his Gundam shit has letters. We got G Gundam, ZZ Gundam.
I know, but like turn, like if it was called A Gundam, that's different. Or
yeah,
but like turn A Gundam.
I don't fucking
turn
know,
A.
man. He names whatever.
Turn Alpha.
I haven't seen those either.
Turn
I know
Asshole.
I've heard of Earthlight, and I feel like that was something that was on Toonami before. Don't 100% recall, but I feel like I've caught some of that. I don't fucking remember any of that shit though. But I do want to check those out. At the 2009 CESA Developers Conference, Tomino used his keynote speech to criticize the gaming industry, citing that video games, quote, bring no productivity at all, and that consoles are just consuming electricity.
Slander!
Yeah, I know, right? Blasphemy! While stressing that game developers need to focus more on quality content rather than advanced technology, comparing it to the modern animation industry. His surprising remarks have sparked mass discussions online. After working on the CGI short Ring of Gundam for Gundam's 30th anniversary in 2009, Tomino returned to the franchise again for its 35th anniversary in 2014 in a new work in which he wrote and directed Gundam Reconquista in G.
Reconquista.
I don't know. It sounds like Gundam Reconquista in G. Is that like, I feel like it's a musical thing, right?
Oh my god, no, not a musical.
Yeah. Just fucking Gundams coming onto the stage and singing.
Nope, turn off.
I'm here to stop you. And he just fucking launches missiles out of his fucking tits.
Delete my whole internet.
Oh shit. Tomino was present at Gundam Factory Yokohama for the opening ceremony of the 18-meter life-size moving statue of Gundam in Yokohama.
Oh, I love that thing so much.
How fucking badass would that be to be like, I created that shit and they're building a fucking, like, a real thing of it for you.
I'm just saying, if Japan ever was able to create an actual, like, army of Gundams, like, they win. They win the Gundam fight.
Bow down.
They win the Gundam fight by being the only Gundams in the fight.
The first laser sword to get drawn is like, oh fuck. Like, you're not sorry, you're not destroying that. You better bring a nuke. There ain't shit that's gonna stop that.
Nope. No, man. But that's about all the information we have today on G Gundam. But overall, I do have a couple fun facts about G Gundam that I think would be really cool. Obviously, we talked about the stereotypes in Gundam. Yeah, it's bad. They're really just...
I mean, at least it wasn't called Gundam Sombrero or Gundam Ariba or some fucking stereotypical bullshit.
True. Fun fact, did you know there's a Gundam that looks exactly like Sailor Venus from Sailor Moon series?
Yeah.
It is the Gundam known... it's from Neo, Sweden. It's called Noble Gundam, and its design was heavily inspired by Sailor Venus from the Sailor Moon franchise.
I guess I'm not surprised.
It was also meant to, we talked about earlier, it was meant to revitalize the struggling Gundam franchise, and is also the first Gundam love story. It's the first story focused on love.
When a robot loves another robot.
Well, not quite like that. Did you know that two of the Gundams in the series are contest winner creations, actually? They had a contest that basically they would pick two Gundams to actually appear in the series. And they were, let's see here, Mobile Fire G Gundam teamed up with Comic Bonbon of Kodansha Publications and TV Magazine to hold this exciting contest that let fans go nuts with their designs and ideas. In the end, the designs for Neo Singapore's Ashura Gundam and Neo Malaysia's Skull Gundam were the contest winners, and rightfully so. They look all sorts of cool. Also, fun fact, like I mentioned, that this series in Japan was created before Gundam Wing. So G Gundam was airing while Gundam Wing was in productions. During one of the last big fights of the show, where there's a multitude of different Gundams on screen, they decide to throw a bunch of different Gundam designs on screen. Some that obviously had been shown earlier on in the series, but also Gundams from different series, including two Gundams from Gundam Wing. If you look if you freeze frame a shot of all these different Gundams like charging into battle, you will see the Wing Gundam and Gundam Tall Geese are among them.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super cool. There's also Victory Gundam's V2 Gundam and Gundam 0083's GP1 and GP2 Gundam. So that's super cool. And then most of its characters and settings are heavily influenced by world cinema, specifically George of Neo France. And fun fact, there is a horse piloting a Gundam horse.
Good.
Master Asia's horse that he rides in on. His Gundam rides in on a Gundam horse. That Gundam horse is piloted by a real horse that also goes through the whole transformation sequence where he throws on the tight suit. Yeah, he goes through that same thing. It's hilarious.
Do you imagine what that horse is thinking? Like, the fuck is happening?
I don't like this.
No, the one thing I always kind of wonder is it just like, is the floor slick and it's like a treadmill? Like how, like it takes a walking motion because it's controlled by real motions. I wonder what the floor, like, is it just like a bunch of smooth rollers, or is the horse just constantly doing like in place moonwalking?
That is actually true. I never thought about that.
Yeah, they never really show how like any of that works.
Yeah, they never show like the Gundams like running at each other. It's mainly like they're using their thrusters, so maybe that's how they get around that.
Thrusting everywhere.
But you would think I guess there are times where they're walking forward. So
right, but like how big is that room? Like, I mean, those Gundams aren't that big. I mean, yeah, they're big, but
that's
like
true.
You can't endlessly walk. What if they're like, oh, sorry, I reached the edge of my room. Hold on, gotta reset. Don't fight me now. I can't move forward anymore. It's not my fault.
My Xbox Kinect isn't working right now.
Xbox, turn off.
Wait, no! Gundam, turn off.
User has logged offline.
Shit!
Damn. Oh, fuck. Google doesn't have a specific numbered review, but there is a really good review that's a 5-star review from 10 months ago written by Stephen Cassat, who says, in my opinion, G Gundam is one of the most underrated anime ever. This turned out to be my favorite Gundam show out there out of the whole series. After being bogged down by all the politics involved, and trust me, we have enough of that in the real world, this is exactly what Gundam needed. I mean, we have robots fighting robots in a world tournament, but I also love some underlying themes it had scattered throughout, but I'll let you find those out for yourselves. All in all, a definite must-watch.
I agree with that. I don't think it is as good as after rewatching it just, finishing it up today, I do not think it is as good as I remember it being, but I still think it is if you're looking for old school anime with just a goofy theme, a fun story, but one that you don't have to, if you don't think about it too hard now, but if you just like turn off your brain, sit back and enjoy it, it's a lot of really cool things. The Gundams, I think, have some of the best designs in the series.
Yeah, totally.
It's a very anime plot, an evil Gundam that is, sentient in a way. Mm-hmm. And then the story of like the creation of the Devil/Dark Gundam is so neat, and it's so unique that you're just like, this is really in a Gundam show? Like, that's cool as hell. Mm-hmm. I don't want to spoil it because I really do think you should give it a shot. The series, you can probably pick it up on like Amazon, or hell, I watched it on YouTube. Just type in G Gundam and it's all there dubbed, so you can watch it for free.
Crunchyroll has quite a bit of this too.
Yep.
I believe almost all of theirs is subtitle only though. G Gundam was sub only.
See, I got upstairs. I have a bunch of the DVDs of G Gundam. I don't own all of it, but I got quite a bit of it.
So there you go. Contact Phil and have him mail them to you. You can watch them there.
Watch it YouTube, man.
Yeah, no, you totally can. One last real quick one. I love this review. This is the best one ever by Nick Warner 11 months ago, who says, completely retarded, but amazing nonetheless. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. I want to thank Schminkadelic for the use of our intro and outro. You can catch more of his tunes on Spotify and Apple Music. To punch robots to. He will give you the power to rip a robot's head off. It's pretty fucking awesome. It fills me with rage, and I love it. Thank you to The Barn for having us on their program, and you can catch more of their shows like Birds and Swords,
Vulgar Display of
Podcast.
I believe we just got a new show that added on, the Tippy Joe show.
The Tippy Joe show, yeah. So welcome to the team. And yeah, thanks again, everybody, for listening. Once again, this has been the Men of Zen. My name is Brent.
And I'm still tired as shit.
Yeah.
But I'm Phil,
Get
and
some
I
fucking sleep
I plan on it tonight, you know?
right now. All right, thanks, everybody, for listening. Stay Zen.
For more media entertainment podcasts like the one you just heard, check out The Barn. Anime, music, sports, and video games, The Barn has everything that you need.